You know that winning on the track means managing your equipment and track conditions every lap. For the American farmer, success is also about managing the ever-changing variables of nature. Brandt partners with the American farmer every day and has been since 1953. Learn more about the winning spirit of Brandt and the role that they play globally in agriculture online at brandt.co. Brandt, take control.
Fill up your freezer during the Mega Meat Sale at Piggly Wiggly in Jessup. On sale at your Jessup Piggly Wiggly, whole bone-in pork loin, $1.28 a pound. Boneless chuck roast, $2.98 a pound. Boneless center cut pork chops, $1.98 a pound. Fresh chicken drumsticks or thighs, alone 98 cents a pound. And fresh ground beef, only $1.98 a pound. Other Mega Meat savings you'll get at your Jessup Piggly Wiggly include fresh baby back pork ribs, $2.98 a pound. Economy T-bone steaks, $3.98 a pound. Country style pork chops, $1.88 a pound. And assorted pork chops, $1.68 a pound. Fill up your freezer with these and many more Mega Meat specials at Piggly Wiggly. Remember, every Thursday is Seniors Day, where you receive 10% off your order, excluding tobacco and alcohol. Be sure to shop Piggly Wiggly's Deli Bakery for great meals on the go. Open 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Your Jessup Piggly Wiggly, 440 West Cherry Street.
WIFO 105.5 FM Jessup, Big Dog Country.
At Broadhurst Landfill, keeping our communities safe is the most important thing we do. Our local team of environmental managers, engineers, and scientists ensure that the long-term management of the landfill is safe for our workers, customers, and the environment. To learn more, visit our website at www.broadhurstlandfill.com, or you can go to the website, click Visit Us, and sign up for a tour to see firsthand how we operate. We hope to see you soon.
The winter clearance event is going on now at Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. We've got to move remaining 2016 inventory, so we're selling it below invoice. Plus, up to $10,000 off 2017 Expeditions and 0% financing. Credit problems are no problem at Mike Birch. Our finance department is ready to put you in a new car. We've got a huge selection of pre-owned inventory with select vehicles qualifying for our lifetime powertrain warranty. Come see him at Mike Birch Ford or 24/7 at MikeBirchFordBlackshear.com.
The winter clearance event has started at Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Huge savings and top dollar for your trade. We're overstocked with 2016 inventory and selling below invoice. Plus $10,000 off 2017 Expeditions and 0% financing. Plus our free lifetime powertrain warranty on all new vehicles and our exclusive low price guarantee on tires. Shop this search. Call Mike Birch 912-449-4446 or MikeBirchFordBlackshear.com. 0% financing with approved credit. See dealer for details.
Jessup Premium Storage, 1455 South 1st Street is Jessup's best place to store your valuables. Whether it's furniture between moves or just a place for the overload, call Jessup Premium Storage at 530-8003. That's 530-8003. Jessup Premium Storage units are indoors, climate controlled, and they have 24-hour surveillance and on-site management. You have 24-hour, 7-day-a-week access to your unit. Sizes range from 5x5 to 10x25. They also have outside covered and uncovered spaces available for vehicles, boats, trailers, and RVs. Jessup Premium Storage on the Waycross Highway in Jessup.
Good morning, 4 minutes after 8 o'clock. You're listening to the Big Dog, WIFO FM in Jessup, 105.5 on your FM dial. Butch Hubbard here with you on the second day of March. And going to be mostly cloudy today as this front moves on out. Got a lot of rain last night. High today near 66 degrees, so not much warmer than it is right now. Tonight, partly cloudy, low tonight around 40. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 67. And the Altamaha River level is at 8.5 feet and falling. Currently here in southeast Georgia, we have 61 degrees. It's now time for the world-famous Butch and Bob Show, brought to you by Republic Services, by Jessup Premium Storage out here on the Waycross Highway, and by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear. Good morning, Bob.
Good morning.
You ready to put your blue jeans on tonight and bling and have a good old time at Taste of Wayne?
That's what the baseball game gets rained out.
But if the baseball game gets rained out.
There's a baseball game will be in Brownlee County. It won't be at the Taste of Wayne.
That's right. That's right. I forgot about the fact that you're going to have to head down to Kingsland, St. Mary's, and broadcast that. Oh, you said Brantley. I thought you said Camden. Down to Brantley County. At least that's not as far. Yeah, at least that's not as far. I don't know what it's going to be this afternoon. Basically, the weather is going to get better as the day goes along. We'll go from real cloudy this morning to less cloudy this afternoon to partly cloudy tonight. What time is the game?
6.
6 o'clock. Well, the weather should be decent at that time. It's just according how their field drains.
Exactly. It's all about field condition.
Yeah. Because, man, that was some heavy rain last night. I mean, some heavy rain. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of condition their field is in. Do they have a tarp they put over the infield, or do they just let the rain just hit it, or does it drain well down there in Brownlee County? Do you remember? A lot of fields out there. It's kind of hard to remember them all.
Don't remember the field.
Okay. Wayne County, Brownlee County. This afternoon at 6 o'clock right here on 105.5 FM. Field conditions permitting. And you also can hear it around the world on our website at bigdogcountry.com and on your smartphone. If you don't have our free app yet, what are you waiting for? Head on over to your favorite app store and type in Big Dog WIFO and download our free app and have that Big Dog logo right there on your phone so you can click on it to hear programming here from 105.5 FM. So Wayne County, Brownlee County today, and then they play again tomorrow, don't they?
Tomorrow night, Haggard home. Yes, Effingham. Should
Okay.
be a good ball game.
Okay, Wayne County to Effingham tomorrow. And tomorrow's sunny, 67, so it's going to be a great day.
That's good.
Now, I know everybody's going to enjoy Taste of Wayne tonight at Coastal Pines Technical College. Got what they wanted, which was cooler weather, because once you pack several hundred bodies into that room there at Coastal Pines Technical College, I don't care what you put the air conditioner on, it's still going to get a little warm in there. But tonight, the low's supposed to be around 40. So it's going to be in the 50s when it starts, and during most of the evening there, and so it's going to be nice. So it won't be so hot in there.
Good.
Yeah,
Got a lot of items.
a lot of items to be auctioned off. Silent auction, live auction. The food, of course, is the main thing. Taste of Wayne, as you've got all those restaurants that'll be lined up around the edges of the room there, where you can walk by and get your plate and try a little bit of this and a little bit of that of what they have to offer, and then move on to the next one, then move on to the next one, then move on to the next one. You walk in and you waddle out.
And they still have those auction or raffle tickets for the green egg. I did see a green egg yesterday. A friend of mine, Bernie Lewis, has a green egg.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he said it's unique. One.
It's worth it.
He said it's well worth it.
Okay.
He said the food that you cook in there is just top notch. So,
Just top notch. Can't be better, huh?
so I saw his yesterday. He showed me. I said we were talking about the Butch and Bob show. Why is it so good? He said it's definitely worth the money. So
Okay.
it's only $10 raffle ticket to get one. So make sure you get your raffle ticket for the green egg.
Okay.
But it comes highly recommended by Bernie the Blade Lewis.
Okay. 2 thumbs up from Bernie.
Yeah.
For his green egg, he loves it.
He loves it.
Okay. And, of course, there'll be a band playing there tonight, providing the entertainment. You just can't beat it. Get your ticket today at the Chamber of Commerce. $50 for members, $75 for non-members. And get them at the door. Whatever you want to do, just show up. Have a good time. But it's blue jeans and bling. So, you really don't have to dress up, really, really good. Just look decent.
A lot of interest is not Christian in that there's tickets to be given away yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just lit up like Christmas trees.
Yeah,
so
it did. Yeah, people wanted to go. I got those free tickets yesterday.
that's good.
Yeah.
Should be a big crowd.
Oh, it should be a great crowd. And with this cool with this cool temperature, it's going to make it very, very nice. And speaking of tickets, I've got, in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be giving away a whole bunch of stuff here. I've got tickets to the Southern Women's Show that's going to be held in Savannah. It's held at the Agri Center there. It's held over there every single year, where they have tons of displays and vendors there. So I'll be giving away some tickets to the Southern Women's Show. And also going to be giving away some tickets to the Wayne County Young Farmers Truck and Tractor Pool. They dropped those off yesterday, and the Wayne County Truck and Tractor Pool is going to be on March 10th and 11th. So not this weekend, but next weekend. And so got those tickets to give away, and got tickets to give away to the Southern Women's Show in Savannah coming up on March 10th through the 12th, 10th and 11th, 12th. So keep it tuned into 105.5 FM to win some free tickets and stuff. That's about the opposite ends there, Bob. You got Truck and Tractor Pool out there in the mud, outside at night. And then you got a women's show inside with nice displays and beautiful things. So no matter what your tastes are, you're going to have a chance to win tickets from 105.5 FM Big Dog Country. So the search is on for a new Wayne County athletic director and coach.
It's underway. I said applications are coming in, and I said superintendent seems pleased with the committee. And like I said, they met Tuesday before the meeting. So search is underway. And they're looking for have somebody in here by the end of March, which is what, 4 weeks away.
Yeah, yeah,
That's the goal.
quickly. And they mentioned Jay mentioned about just please leave the committee members alone. Let if you got something to say it to Jay. You want to talk? Come on in. If you says they said that if you want to talk to somebody about your feelings about us, please talk to Bo Adams or Jay Brinson. But how much you want to bet, Bob? That some of these committee members ears are going to be bent pretty good by folks saying this. You need to hire this person. You need to hire this person because everybody who's got an opinion on it, a strong opinion on it, will think they've got the perfect coach, athletic director, right, Bob?
Everybody's got an opinion.
I said
if you have an opinion, go see Jay.
Go see Jay or Bo Adams. That's who you need to go talk to. Please leave the committee members alone. I know that's probably not going to happen, but please talk to Jay or Bo. Well, we got a guest in here this morning. Glad he walked in. John Swingle. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
What are you doing this morning?
Well, I was doing my honey-do list. I was on the way to the grocery store, and the first thing I did is turn on the radio, and I was listening to Butch and Bob, and it sounded like you didn't have a guest today.
Not today.
And I had been thinking in the back of my mind about coming and asking y'all if I could be on either Friday or Monday morning. I said, nothing like the present. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about is something that's kind of been bothering me, and I just wanted to toss it out to the public because there's not much time to do anything about it. Okay. And that is the bringing the polling booth, the voting places into Jessup, 100% into Jessup, where everybody in Wayne County that wants to vote on the day of the election would have to come into Coastal Pines.
Right.
There's, it's really kind of a quick thing with me. I read about it in the paper, heard a little bit about it on the radio 2-3 weeks ago, and I didn't think much about it. But the more I thought about it, it just kind of hit me the wrong way. And I've kind of talked around. I've talked to 3 of the commissioners now, talked to Tammy Thornton and also Kay Arnold. And it just seems to me we're jumping awful quick that, yeah, the county might save $1 or $2, but everybody's got to drive into the polling place. They're going to use gas, and so I'm not sure the savings are as much as you might think. But I think my major issue is just from a philosophical standpoint that we in America, and I think in the southern part of the U.S. for sure, have almost, it appears to me from the outside looking in, are trying to restrict the vote. And not really encouraging people to vote, but making it a little harder. You got to have more ID now than you used to, and on and on and on. And I'm not trying to get into that subject, but I just think this is a small step in the wrong direction. And I know there's a lot of people out in Odom and Scriven that really do not want to see this happen. Also in the east end of the county in Mount Pleasant, and you better speak up real quick.
Well, that's what they want. They want the comments. They want people to say something. They've got an idea, and now they want input.
Well, and it's more than just the comments that kind of bothers me. It's the way, and I don't know if it's hard to get I think I've gotten a straight answer, and it sounds like it might be state law, and a lot of times state law kind of goes counter to common sense. But basically what I've been told, there's 15 precincts in Wayne County. Some of them are fairly large, maybe 1,500, 2,000 voters. And some of them, such as the country club that votes at the Episcopal Church, there's like 159 registered voters in that precinct. And I'm not against doing some consolidation. I mean, that just makes sense. But why do we have to go the whole route? And I've been told that if the people that do not want this to happen really want to stop it, if 20% of any one precinct of the registered voters will sign a petition, they will back off. Well, the reality is they're supposed to make the decision Tuesday night. Getting 20% of any one precinct signatures between here and there ain't going to happen. And so, if the powers to be want to jam this down our throats, I think they have the ability to do so. I don't think there's anything you could do to stop it other than just squawk. Some of the commissioners think they can do something about it. Some say it's out of their hands. to me, it's not out of their hands. They hold the power of the purse. They need to use their authority. If they don't want to see this happen, the commissioners need to stop it, in my opinion.
Okay, John Swingle here, former school board member, so he knows about running for office. What do you think about their reasons for doing it? You've got 45 days in advance that you can mail a ballot in. You've got 3 weeks of voting that you can vote, which, you know, we've seen that over 50%, almost 60% of the folks now are now voting early. You can do absentee ballot voting. I mean, you've got so many other ways to vote today where it used to be you only could show up on election day.
Yeah, that's a very true statement. And I personally go to the courthouse and vote myself, but I live in Jessup, so it's a pretty easy thing to do. My wife just loves the day of the election, the excitement, going in, taking your kids. I had a young mother the other day said she loves to take her kids in on election day, trying to teach them this is what America is all about. This is how we vote. We come together, we talk to people, we vote, and it's kind of a symbolic thing. And I've also talked to others that say, hey, I live out 169, I work in Brunswick. I come back through town. I like to vote on a voting day, but if I got to go over to Coastal Pines and stand in line with other people, and they assure me there won't be lines, but I'll believe that when I see it, and it's just a preference on my part.
You're a traditionalist.
Well, I'm a traditionalist when it comes to voting. I think we should do everything in our power to get as many people to the polls as we possibly can. I think it's ludicrous when we have 17,000 people in Wayne County that are registered to vote. And Kay Arnold said yesterday, about 10,000 voted. And, that's pretty low percentage. And that was a presidential election. And so, that's not good. We don't need to do anything to suppress voting.
All right, John, you're starting to get some text messages here. Remember, folks, if you have any questions or comments on the Butch and Bob Show or at any other time, you can text us. Text us at 912-427-3711. Our main studio and business line is text enabled, 427-3711. First of all, here's the first one, John. It says, I agree with what John is saying. Paul Girardi from Scriven.
Wow, thank you, Paul. Paul and I will say this publicly, Paul and I are good buddies. We're very good friends. I like Paul a whole bunch. And yet, he's a Republican, I'm a Democrat. We sit on different sides of the aisle, so to speak, but we always could come together and work it out.
Okay, let me stress something that Tammy said, like you mentioned, that Tammy spoke at the school board meeting on Tuesday, and Kay Arnold did too. If you oppose this, they're asking you to put it in writing. As of Tuesday, no one has opposed in writing. So that's the first thing you need to know. If you oppose this, you are supposed to write it in writing and send your opposition to the board meeting. Jana Royal also expressed your sentiment at the board meeting. She said she's not in favor of this because there's a lot of people in Scriven. Unfortunately, they don't drive to Jessup, same thing in Odom. So she thought there might be able to come up with some kind of compromise. Everybody in Jessup, one polling place sounds good, but maybe have a polling place in Odom and a polling place in Scriven. But then people in Gardi and all that may, be upset about that. But it just seems to me like there's some sort of compromise instead of just all going to one place right off the bat. Just Jessup can go to Coastal Pines Technical College because it's more convenient and it's easier. Like I said, they got the 3-week early voting, but maybe keep a polling place in Odom for the people in Odom and polling place in Scriven, and maybe just have that, because it's about poll workers. Tammy mentioned most of our poll workers ready to retire, and it's hard to train poll workers, things like that. So it just seems to me like there could be some kind of compromise instead of just making a quick fix, one location for the entire county. Maybe just have one location for Jessup and then places in different locations that need it. So it's going to be interesting when they have the meeting Tuesday. But again, what they've stressed for the last 3 weeks, and this isn't just something that just came. She's been promoting this and talking about this for 3 weeks, and she's been stressing for 3 weeks. If you oppose it, you have to put it in writing and send it to her office. Well, guess what? As of Tuesday, no one, zero opposition in writing.
Well, they'll have one letter at least today.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I just want to
They've been running ads on it also.
That message needs to get out.
Let's get our text messages here because we got some folks listening. They want to say something here. The second one here is, how is proving who you are suppressing voting? Doesn't that help ensure the integrity of the process? Well,
don't be sorting that.
That's a different issue. That's a different issue.
We don't want to debate that because I'm on that side. Whoever takes that in, I agree 100%. You need to be able to show an ID to vote. Okay?
Right.
If you don't have an ID, then
Yeah, I don't have any problem with showing ID to vote, but it just becomes more and more restrictive as time has gone on.
Okay. So you're saying that you're all for the ID part because you want to make sure that the person is who they say they are and they're registered like they're supposed to be. The legal thing to run for office, the way it should be. But what you're saying is you think that going to one polling place will help restrict it.
That's really the issue. And I agree with what Bob said. I don't have any problem with some consolidation. When we talked, I talked to Tammy yesterday along with some other folks, and she didn't have any issues with that. This appears becoming more from the registrar's office. And what I don't understand is one commissioner told me, well, there's nothing they can do about it. Well, the registrar is not an elected official. She basically administratively works for Luther Smart. Luther works for the commissioners. I think there's some control there. The committee that represented this is a 3-person committee made up of the registrar, one other individual that works part-time for the registrar. And I'm not sure about the third individual. I don't know much about that gal, the lady at all. And so I can't, I'm not going to speak to that, but it's not a very open board to say the least.
Okay, let's go on to the next text message here. It says, this is Dave Moore. Preach it, John. To your point, what about the folks on the Hill that cannot get to Coastal Pines Technical College?
They were going to do transit.
Yeah. That's what they are. They're going to use the buses to transit. We got tons of transit buses, and you're going to use transit buses.
That's how those people get to polling place.
It just doesn't seem very realistic to me if there's 100 people on the Hill that all of a sudden wants to call the transit. We don't have that many drivers. We don't have that many buses. I think that's just it's a plat. I can't think of the right
You've
word.
got the buses that you can use then. You've got the buses that they can use 3 weeks in advance to go to the courthouse if they want to. I mean, there's 3 weeks of voting there, and the county will take you to the courthouse if you just call up and say, hey, bring a bus by.
That's really what started this, is the early voting process. The numbers that it's shown for early voting. And I'm like you, I'm a traditionalist. I vote on election day. I've always voted on election day, but I'm in the minority. The majority of these people in Wayne County, even in presidential election, all came to the courthouse in that 3-week period, and the majority of the votes were cast at the courthouse in 3 weeks. The day of the election, there wasn't a lot of people voting. It was just like, they had all these poll workers out there, and one person would walk in, and then 2 hours later somebody walked. I mean, they just looked and said, what are we doing? I mean, this is a waste of time and money. We're paying all these poll workers. Plus, it takes forever to bring. That's another thing they're trying to do on election night. Some of these precincts, it takes forever to get those boxes down to the courthouse, and it takes forever to get the results. So they're trying to consolidate that as well. If you have just one polling place, guess what? You don't have to worry about waiting for somebody to come in from Gardi or somebody come in from Manningtown or wherever they're coming from. It's all right there. As soon as the election closes, they can get the results as quickly as possible. So,
and someone just texted in and says, how about 1 in Scriven, 1 in Odom, and 2 in Jessup?
And maybe 1 in Mount Pleasant. But, I don't have any problem with that. I think, we've got, I don't know how many polling places. We have 15 precincts. 15, and we probably, I don't know, 10, 12 places to go vote.
The discussion is going to take place Tuesday morning. Like I said, to me, there seems to be a compromise. I mean, like I said, the proposal is just 1 polling place, period. And other people are totally against that. So there seems to be, you could come up with some compromise. Like I said, Janet's point was well taken Tuesday at the board meeting. Unfortunately, it's nice to think that everybody in Scriven comes to Jessup and shops. What's they done? Well, some go to,
some go to Waycross.
Yeah, some people never come. So that's just a fact of life. I mean, some people are so far from the city limits of Jessup, they go the other way. Like John says, they just go on to Waycross and do shopping there. So the fact you can think they're all going to come to one polling place at Coastal Pines Technical College. Another thing that was asked, Ray Davis asked the question, he doesn't want it to be like Walmart, where there's all these people ready to vote, and you got 3 registers over there. So he said, and Tammy said, no, they got enough machines.
Or any other supermarket or store. There's not one.
They don't think waiting in line is going to be an issue if they do this.
If they have a whole bunch of folks
So that's another thing to point out, that they think that it'll be a smooth process. And so I'm like you. I think, I just think compromise is the way to go.
Okay. I'm like Bob, and like you, John. I vote on election day. I like to wait to the very last minute because you just never can tell what might happen the days leading up to the election. Just like this person right here, it says a lot of people wait until to the day of the election. That way they can evaluate all the issues. And I'm kind of that way, you know. I think I voted one time so far in early voting at the courthouse. But every other time, I'm like Bob, I'm a traditionalist. But when I went down to Unity Church of God into the gymnasium, which usually there's, in the past, they've been pretty good lines there, I was it. And we're talking about, you know, mid-morning. I was it. There was no, they had 4 or 5 people sitting there, you know, the polling place trying to help it out, and I was the only one. There was one person voting, and I was the only one there at the table.
But the election center's a big precinct too. Like I said, that's where I vote, and I went in there and talked to those people. How many? You know, I mean, it was like a turtle's pace. Nobody was coming because everybody already voted early.
Yeah. Again, my purpose for coming here today is not to try to convince. Nobody's going to convince me, and I'm not going to convince someone that thinks we should be voting, you know, at Coastal Pine. But I think if you got a dog in this fight, if you got an opinion, you're running out of time. And I also told Tammy, I said, you know, is there any chance that this thing could be just put off 1 month? If you really have to get 20% of the signatures in one precinct, we're not going to do it between now and Tuesday. I'm realistic. But if I have a 1 month, I'll give you 20% of the signatures in one of the districts.
Who's making the final decision? That's what I keep asking. Are the commissioners making a decision? I mean, they're going to have this meeting Tuesday. I mean, is this board going to make the decision, or are the commissioners going to make the decision?
Well, Ralph Nichock said in a Facebook message to me that the registrar board
makes the decision.
Is the voter board, whatever you want to call it. Kay Arnold and her 2, you know, people on that committee are going to make that final decision. And I just don't buy that. I think there's politics involved, and this comes to the voting.
You think politics are involved? I thought, from what I understand of this, is mainly cost savings, and tried to make things to make it easier for a lot of folks. But mainly cost savings is the reason why.
Yeah, I
to
think
me, it seems like that's the big thing they were trying to say.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I misused the term politics when I said the word politics. I said it's in the political arena now. And that's all I'm saying.
All right. We appreciate the people tuning in. That's the reason why I want them to get their comments on here. It says 3 places more effective. I took my child to the courthouse for voting experience. Last fall, he followed the example and did the same alone. If you have to get a ride to your local precinct, you now get a ride to your city location. And so, yes, you can get rides. How much money are they going to save? That's what somebody just text in. Are they hard dollars or close dollars and cents on exactly how much might be saved? Do you know, John Swingle?
I don't know the number. I know I've seen a number in print. I also, what they haven't is, you know, if I live in Scriven or in Mount Pleasant and I got to drive to Jessup, I'm going to, you know, drive 15, 20 miles, 30 miles. I'm going to burn a gallon of gas. That's going to cost me $2.20. You know, if you're going to look at the overall picture cost to Wayne County society, you know, I think it's kind of a push. And I think when it comes to, we just make some changes, do a little consolidation, but let's just not bring it all into town. And that's all. Get out there, say what you think. Let the commissioners know. Let Kay know. Let Tammy know.
Okay,
they're gonna love me for saying that.
Okay. Everybody loves you, John.
Not necessarily.
All right. Another comment just text in. It says 17,000 registered voters, 15 polling places, 60% voting early. Young people that need to do their job and step up. And then, how does one become a poll worker?
Talk to Kay Arnold or Tammy. I'm not sure which.
So I thought that was pretty good right there. But you got about 60% of the folks voting early these days. And then you still got absentee ballots. And then you can still request a ballot that you can have 45 days in advance if you want it. And you can drop it off the day of the election, or you can mail it in at any time. There's so many ways to vote today.
If we're looking for efficiencies, we could do what the state of Washington does, in that 100% of the ballots are mailed to the people early in the process, and they have the opportunity to sit in their living room, fill out the ballot, and return it by mail, or they can go to the courthouse and drop it off. But you cannot go to the polls and vote. And so if you're looking for efficiencies, and again, that's state-driven, that's not local-driven. But there's many, many ways to get efficiencies. I just say at this time and place, we have Wayne County, they haven't had enough time to really discuss this issue, and it's coming at us awful fast. And
so that's your main issue, is it's coming up too fast. You think the decision needs to be put off a little bit longer.
Give it a month.
And if there was a compromise there, John, if you were sitting down there in front of the registrars and saying, here's the compromise that I think is good, what would it be, John Swingle?
I would take 5C, which is Episcopal Church. I mean, that's a ridiculous few number of people, and they could vote within Jessup.
How many polling places do you think they need to be in Wayne County, and where? If you were trying to compromise and try to save a little bit of money.
You know, you got to have one in Scriven, one in Odom. I think Mount Pleasant, you got to have one in Jessup. You know, you get it down to 5 or 6, but let's not just go to one.
Okay. And then the next question was, how much money is the county going to save? Don't know. But folks, they've run ads. We've been putting it on the newscast for several weeks now. They want your input. So talk to Tammy Thornton, talk to Kate Arnold, talk to the Board of Registrars. Let them know your opinion on this. Should we go to one precinct at Coastal Pines Technical College, still have the 3 weeks in advance of the courthouse, still have the mail-in ballots and the absentee ballots? Or should we shut down all the other ones and just go to one? They want your input. They're asking for your input. They're running ads for your input. And John Swingle, we do appreciate you coming in this morning. You've made it a very lively Butch and Bob show.
Thank you for just taking me on a drop-in. Like I said, I leave the house. I'm heading for Harvey's to go to the grocery store, and here I am. Now I'm going to go back to the grocery store.
Well, we hadn't heard from you in a while, John, and I thought you were going to be coming in and talking about something about Kiwanis or something like that, but you talked about something that's pretty good.
I do want to do that someday, but not today.
Okay. Have a great day, John. Anything else, Bob?
Nope.
Okay. All right. The world-famous Butch and Bob Show brought to you by Mike Birch Ford in Blackshear, by Jessup Premium Storage located out here on the Waycross Highway, and also brought to you by Jessup Premium Storage, Republic Services, and Mike Birch Ford. 832, 105.5 FM in Jessup, Big Dog Country.